Welcome, everyone. Dr. Thor here, and a look at two Malcolm Ray units here. I believe they're produced by the Magneto Corporation in the UK. I'm not sure if they're still in business. Let's take a look at this. Patent applied. This is what you'd call a remedy maker, a potentizer, where you can copy or make remedies in general. And of course, the dial here is the potency you want to send. You put the in here, and you can make the potency or preparation or homeopathic there. Now, homeopathics is a very interesting and potentially powerful area of healing, which uses vibrations, energies. Now, when you try and do this, and there's no amplification, no electricity, no nothing in here, I'm not even sure there's a wire between here and here. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. A lot of times these work on Malcolm Ray cards, which he's famous for. You put a card in, and this is kind of a template to send energy. Again, we just don't know if any of this stuff works. You have to wonder, if it was so great and it works so well, how come there isn't more of it? Now, he was relatively successful for what he did, and the problems with homeopathics is very difficult to prove efficiency one way or another. Now, let's look at this here. Take this out. This is Ray Extended Range Potency Simulator B, made in England. And again, they're beautifully made. I love these little shiny plastic, and it's got, looks like brass in there. Let's check here. Usually it's, this is stainless steel apparently. But I mean, there isn't much to these things. I mean, they look nice, and that's important for you to, but if it's just a psychic process, do you need to have anything like this at all? Now, this potentizer here has a slit, if you see at the top here. This is a slit for his cards. So you insert the card in here, and then, of course, that will be broadcast to the witness, which you place in here, which could be hair, photograph, etc. I'm not sure how these tune in, but this is a tuning device of some sort. But you know, when you open these things up again, none of it is electronic. Does it have to be? Well, when you're using sigils and so forth, well, not necessarily. We don't want to necessarily get caught up in that. But if you're not amplifying by having a strict radionic pattern, we offer these in amulets and other things. Well, these are patterns. These are actual diagrams of a circuit which create energy. When you have something like this, which is just a wire to it, but if you're using a ray card, and there are thousands of these, that is a sigil. So that energy will then be transferred into any substance you put here, or into someone's photograph. So that does make sense. The problem is that you really need to have amplifying antennas and patterns to make these things work. Now, this doesn't have a slot for a card anywhere. Let me double check that. I haven't looked at these in years. Looks like I did open that up there to look inside, and I believe there was nothing in there as usual. And as I said, this gets to an extreme of, well, what is going on here? And we do have to be careful with the fact that, is there anything to it in the bigger picture if it's just a psychic crutch? And if it's going to be a psychic crutch, well, do you really need a machine to do that? Or if you do, you just have a tiny, inexpensive machine. So these are all things that have to be looked at. Now, Malcolm Ray has passed, and as I said, there are thousands of cards. I think there is some manufacturer of his stuff out there, which is no longer connected to him. As usual with most of these things, once the person who invented it and publicized it is gone, the technology goes with them, unfortunately. So here again, what is the validity of it? How well does it work? Well, we just don't know, and it's sad at this stage, because this is not new technology. Malcolm Ray, and these machines themselves are probably 30, 40 years old, if not more. I mean, this is something that has been around for 60 years or so, and, what is the reality of it? At least 40 years. Well, does it work? Does it not? There's still a a discussion of how effective homeopathy is. And a lot of people get success with homeopathy. And homeopathy is subtle energy medicine. There's nothing really there. You're using the vibration from a substance, which your body tends to love, to take in and make energetic changes. And that's what it's all about. It's energy medicine. It has nothing to do with the physical. So it should work if we do it correctly. And as I said, homeopathy's been around for many years now, and people do love it and have fantastic results from it. So, and that's the kind of energy that you reproduce in a radionic instrument, is the subtle energies. But like everything else, we have no information on this because of the stigma of problems of legalities, of quote, treating people, even though you're not working on the physical body. But this falls into the aspects of regular medicine to a degree, where it shouldn't, because it has nothing to do with that. And you got to remember that allopathic or regular medicine is using substances or physical matter to affect the physical body, while radionics and homeopathy is using subtle energy physics to affect the subtle bodies of a person. And this is, again, supposed to have an energetic change within the person. And as such, you're supposed to get some results from that. But it's not the same. It's radically different. And regular, common allopathic medicine thinks this is all a joke and none of it works. Well, that's all well and good, but, the bottom line is that a lot of people claim it does help them. We don't know, because you can't come out as a practitioner and say that. And what is this? I mean, they made a lot of these units, and they're still hanging around out there. You have to wonder, but, like anything that's unusual, different, and unique, well, you're most likely not going to have a lot of press on it. You're not going to talk to people that tell you it works. People will use it, get results from it, and that's that. They're not going to discuss it because they're afraid of the ridicule that so many people get from using alternative. I mean, anytime someone comes out in opposition to vaccinations or other things, they are horribly attacked. Well, we need science is a failure. Medical science is a complete failure. We need to look at the energetic nature of life, and until we do, we're never going to get any breakthroughs. I mean, regular physics has come out now and stated they are at the end of their road. There's nothing to discover. People have spent their entire lives studying physics and got nowhere. Well, we need to move into energy physics, and then everything will change. So, check the links below for our offerings. We are going to open these up and show them to people. This is for Patreon and for all access members. And you'll see what's inside of it. And we'll go into larger discussions of how you use them, demonstrate them, etc. This is just a preview for those that have general interest. Until next time.